Remember, this is the continuation of our lessons in business mathematics, and we're now in lesson 2. We're done with a batch of videos for simple interest, and now it's time for us to go to the compound interest, which is part of the general mathematics core subject in senior high school. So for this lesson or batch of videos, um, these are the expectations for us at the end of the lesson. You must be able to, number one, illustrate compound interests. Number two, distinguish between simple and compound interest. Number three, compute interest, the future value and the present value in the compound interest environment this time. And we will be solving problems involving the compound interests. This number four we will integrate while we are computing interest, future value, and present interest. That is number three. So as an introduction, recall that in the simple interest environment, interest is charged to the principal only. Okay, so remember our formula, I equals PRT. Okay, so in the compound interest environment, this is what happens. Suppose you borrow 1,000 pesos in a bank with 10% annual interest rate. And let's try to have it 1 year at a time. Okay, 1 year. So for year one, again, you're going to borrow 1,000 pesos. That's year one. What is your interest? How much is your interest? So simply multiply I equals PRT. 1,000 times 10% of 1,000 is clearly 100 pesos. So if we're going to add those, our future value will be, again, value is F, future value equals P plus I, principal plus interest. So our future value is 1,100 pesos. Now, this is what happens in compound interest. We will be getting the future value in year one and make it our new principal in year two. So of course, if that happens, our interests change. Okay, it will change because our interest now is not based on the 1,000, it's now based on the 1,100, which is our new principal. So if we're going to get the 10% of 1,100, that will be a much bigger, higher value than the one before. That's 1,010, or rather 110 rather. So adding the principal and the interest, again, our future value is different. Okay. Now we're going to continue this in our year three. Now our new principal is 1,210, different from our future value, or rather the same rather with our future value, different from the principal before. So getting the interest here, that's 121 pesos. Add them both together, we'll have 1,331. Continue the process, interest increases, future value is different, and continue the process, and so on and so forth. And this is how the compound interest is being used. Okay, so let's make use of our formula for compound interest. For the future value f of principal amount p borrowed or invested at an annual compound interest rate r at time t, it is given by this formula. Okay, f equals, where f is your future value, p is your principal, times the quantity of 1 plus r, this time raised to c. Okay, remember in our simple interest, the t is beside r, right? P times the quantity of 1 plus rt. That's simple interest. In the compound interest, it goes out, okay, of the parenthesis as an exponent this time. Okay, let's take note of this. So for example, number one, find the future value of each of the following at a given annual rate compounded annually. That's redundant and the given time. So let's try to answer this. Now, for number one, recall our formula. P times quantity of 1 plus R, closed quantity, raised to T. So clearly our P is 1,000. So 1,000, using my calculator here, times the quantity of 1 plus 2%. 2% is 0.02. Okay, close parenthesis, raised to 3. The answer is 1,061.21. Actually, it's 208. So since we need to round off all the cash in centavos, in cents, so it's going to become 21 instead of 208, rounding up. So we use this formula. Using the same formula for number two, let's have 2,500 times the quantity of 1 plus 2.75 is 0.0275 in decimal. Close parenthesis, raise it to 5, and voila, what we have is 2,863.18 end cents. So, and change rather. So this 0.18 is what what we're up to. There's no more values. There's no realistic money after that. So we round it up. Lastly, let's do number 3. 10,000 using our calculators times open parenthesis 1 plus 1% in decimal is 0.01 close parenthesis raised to 4. The answer is 10,406.04 in my calculator, which is correct here. Okay, hopefully you got it there. Let's go to the next example. So for the next example, we'll have this word problem. Suppose you invest 50,000 pesos at a 15% interest rate, compounded yearly. Determine the future value of your investment after 3 years. Now let's make use of the given ask required, given ask solution method, the GAS. I think you know that as GAS. So let's write first the given. Let's think what this first number is, 50,000 pesos. What is this? You invested 50,000 pesos. That's clearly your P. Okay. What's this? It says that it's the interest rate. So let it be. In decimal form, it's 0.15. Correct. Compounded yearly. Okay. Determine the future value for the investment after 3 years. So clearly T is 3. And we are asked to determine the future value. It's very clear that we are asked the F. So that's our F equals question mark. For the solution, let's use the formula. Okay, and then let's try to substitute all the values. P is 50,000, that's it. Um, R is 0.15, T is 3. So let's use our calculator to get that. 50,000, open parenthesis, 1 plus 0.15, close parenthesis, raised to 3. And the answer is the same here with my calculator, 76,043 pesos and 75 cents. Okay, hopefully you got it also there correctly. Okay, for number 5, okay, so 5 years ago, Linda put her savings worth 10,000 pesos in an account, providing a compound interest rate of 3.5% annually. Find the value of her savings today and the amount of interest. Okay, so let's write first the given. So our P is here. That's Linda's savings, 10,000 pesos. Our R is 3.5%. Make it decimal, 0.035. And T is written here as the um, first group of words, so T equals 5. Now what is asked of us? Here, we are asked to find the value of her savings today. What is the savings today? Okay, because 5 years ago, that was in the past, Linda put savings 10,000 pesos, and it grew compoundedly, okay, of 3.5% annually. Okay, so how much is her savings today? That is the future value now. Okay, the future value, which is the savings now. And also, we are asked the amount of interest. So let's call that as I also. The same with our I in simple interest, but let's just put in our minds that this is the compound interest, not the simple interest, okay? So to have our solution, let's make use of the same formula that we have. And then we will substitute using our calculators. Let's do this. So 10,000 times, open parenthesis, 1 plus 0.035, close parenthesis, raised to 5. Anyways, I think if you're not familiar with your calculator, every time I say the word raised to, you can see the symbol here in the calculator, which is the caret symbol. Okay, usually it's beside the x squared. X squared is just, it's being squared only, so that's not sufficient. You can see the caret symbol beside x squared or above sign. It depends on such calculators, but it looks like a reverse V. Okay, a V written reversed. Okay, so it's like a cap. Okay, in LaTeX it's backslash cap or V cap rather, or wedge rather. I forgot. Anyways, that's in LaTeX, but in the calculators that's the that's the caret symbol. Okay, it should look like an inversed V, letter V. Okay, so raised to 5, the answer is 11,876 pesos and 86 centavos. Let's cut the others. Now, how can we get our interest? Remember, in our simple interest formula, we have this formula. Okay, that future value is equal to principal amount plus interest, and that's clearly correct in all types of interest, because the future value is equal to p, principal plus the interest earned, right? So how do we get the I? Using some algebra, transpose the p to the other side, so we have I equals f minus p. Imagine this p transferred to the other side, or transposed to the other side, so we have, it will become minus p, so f minus p equals I. So just rearrange it, so I equals f minus p. So we know our f, this is our f, our p is given, so we'll simply minus them. So we're going to minus 10,000 from this amount, so that will leave us the interest, which is 1,876 pesos and 86 cents. So that's our interest, and this is our future value. Okay, so that's our example number 3. For example number 4, I think I will leave you to answer this. You can pause the video now to answer the problem given. Go. Okay, let's try to answer it now. Let me read it once. The A Corporation invests 50 million pesos in a bank that offers an annual interest of 6% compounded yearly. How much will be the future value of this investment after 10 years? Let's write the given first, as always. Let's use the gas method every time there's a word problem. So this 50 million is clearly the P. That's what the A Corporation invested, the amount of money that A Corporation invested. We have the 6% compounded yearly, so that's in decimals, that's 0.06, and we have the t as time for 10 years. We are asked how much will be the future value. So clearly it's just f. There's no I here. So for the solution, let's use again the formula here, and then let's substitute from, we're going to take the values from the given, 50 million, 0.06, 10, using our calculators, 50 million. um, Kindly watch out for the number of zeros you put in your calculators. It will be it will really dramatically change the answer if you lack um, zeros. Raise to. Okay, so in my calculator, what was shown is 89,542,384. Sorry, this should be a period. My goodness. Okay, and 83 cents. Okay, typographical error. Sorry, so that should be 0.83. Okay, so I think this is the best time to end the video now. And now, rather, the best time to end the video now. Hopefully you got something from this video. That's the very basics of the compound interest, specifically getting the value of the future value. And we had one example that shows how to get the interest. That's just simply subtracting the principal amount from the future value. Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll be making another one for you. See you.